The Cape of Good Hope, at the southernmost tip of Africa, the meeting point of the South Atlantic and Indian Oceans. At the confluence of these great oceans, massive seas driven by relentless winds from the Antarctic pound the shores. Mariners call this the Cape of Storms, an area littered with shipwrecks. This is the location of the Dyer Island Channel, a shallow and narrow passage between two low islands. During summer in the southern hemisphere, the weather is more moderate and the seas relatively calm. Because of the many submerged rocks, piloting the boat requires extreme care.
Because there's narrow the channel, the boat can't maneuver all that well. And it gets quite bouncy and very uncomfortable.
Here, a small shark research group has assembled to tag and film the white sharks. Largely through the efforts of the Shark Research Center at the Cape Town Museum, South Africa has become the first country to pass legislation protecting the white shark as an endangered species. To obtain information about white shark behavior, the research unit has been tagging and filming the great fish for over a year. Dr. Leonard Campagno, head of the Shark Research Center, has been at the forefront of white shark research for many years. Dyer Island is located along the southeastern coast of South Africa. A low-lying fringe of rocks, it is the mating and birthplace for thousands of Cape fur seals. Each summer, hundreds of seal pups are born, and for the first time enter the sea. Slow-moving, they are easy prey for the sharks, which lurk close by the rookery.
Shark research in South Africa has, until relatively recently, in the last decade or so, been primarily centered around shark attack. So not much has been done about actually trying to study the white shark as a biological organism, as well as an organism that is potentially endangered by people's activities. We sort of pride ourselves on being a low-budget research organization. We've essentially pared it down to the minimum, have existed from hand to mouth, but nevertheless are in my estimation, doing some pretty good stuff. We're beginning to find some answers.
Okay, Wes, you're going to be in a cage on your own, okay? You have to signal to us so we can tell you which way you want us to pull the baits. If there's a problem in the cage, give us a distress signal. We'll bring the cage towards the boat. Pass us your weight belt first, and then we'll help you out. The two of you that are in the cage on your own, same applies.
Wes Skiles, a professional cave diver from Florida, and the other divers hurry into their gear. Before the crew puts a chum mixture in the water, a 15-foot white shark swims near the boat.
There's that shark.
The crew hurries to attach large pieces of meat to ropes held by small floats to keep the meat near the surface. Once the shark has bitten the bait, they can pull it towards the boat for filming.
There we go. Hey, pull out. ACS, again, stay this way.
The cameramen hurry to enter the water. Though the sharks seem plentiful, they can easily disappear within a few minutes. The cameramen will work from 1- and 2-man cages to film the sharks.
I'll need the film camera first and then the video camera.
Heavily laden with gear, the divers wear a buoyancy compensator that can be filled with air to help float the weight of their cameras, tanks, and lead belts. Wes uses a 16mm underwater film camera, and today will shoot from the one-man cage. He has added a rear-view mirror for safety. As Walt Stearns, an American photojournalist, prepares to enter the second cage, another large shark approaches the floating bait.
Coming up. You okay? Okay, you need the first camera. Which one? That one.
Within less than a minute, a 14-foot shark, its jaws clamped tight on the bait, is pulled past the cage by the surface crew. It's an awesome sight. Then suddenly, from the opposite direction, another white shark approaches from out of the gloom. For a second, shark and diver confront each other eye to eye. The channel seems crowded with white sharks as more bait is tossed into the water.
That's one of the old text, correct?
Trailing blood through its gills, the great white collides with Wes's cage, knocking his light meter from his hand and sending it to the bottom of the channel. Seemingly more concerned for his light meter than his safety, Wes leaves the cage and swims to the bottom to retrieve his meter. Obviously aware of the sharks, he quickly returns to the cage just as another of the great predators swings past. Over the years, Compagno has noted a decline in the white sharks worldwide. Yet at Dyer Island, there is still a reasonable white shark population.
Dyer Island has, among other things, a big seal colony, which you can see right off on one side, and it also has a very large penguin colony with about 20,000 penguins. It has an aquarium atmosphere about it. There's a lot of fish here, there's a lot of seals, there's a lot of, there are other sharks, there are birds. To the white shark's viewpoint, almost a white shark supermarket.
Drawn by the chum mixture, large sharks continue to investigate the area near the boat and the cages. Although it is summer, great storms continue to pass the Cape of Good Hope, making the waters in the channel murky. Yet before the day is over, the men will record 9 great white sharks on film. Now, a 14-foot white shark grabs the bait, and the men on deck begin to pull the shark toward the cage for Wes to film. The powerful shark strikes the cage, and Wes is thrown against the wire screens. Wes signals to Walt to film another shark. The sharks now seem to be coming from all directions, and both divers are kept busy swinging their cameras towards the next great fish. Immediately, another 14-footer, bait and rope clenched firmly in its jaws, is pulled towards the cage. Refusing to release the bait, the shark crashes against the cage. Suddenly, in its frenzy, the great beast jams its head into the cage with the diver. Wes is knocked to his knees as the shark forces itself further into the cage. The powerful jaws and multiple rows of teeth flash back and forth above his head. He pushes against the fish with his camera, trying desperately to force the shark back out the wire opening. Free of the cage, the shark swims away. A much relieved Wes signals to Walt that he is safe and uninjured. Unhurt and amazingly calm after his exciting and dangerous encounter, Wes is elated.
How was it? Oh, it's great.
Get some good shots.
Almost caught one of his two.
Well done, eh?
He came up and grabbed the cage and went, and broke a couple teeth off. And I saw one of them drop by, but he still had his jaw gripped to the cage, and I was like,
Seriously?
yeah.
The weather clear, they decide to spend the night at anchor. It has been an extraordinary day, and tomorrow they plan to begin tagging the white sharks. Weather holding fair, the Gay Jane remains overnight at Dyer Island. The boat is not designed to sleep more than two, and the crew is forced to sleep in the engine room, while others spread sleeping bags on deck.
Good morning, gentlemen. Photograph.
Responsible for the entire operation, Theo Ferreira prepares a huge breakfast for the crew. Theo, who established the White Shark Research Project, describes the nature of their operation.
The White Shark Research Project was founded 2.5 years ago. Dr. Leonard Compagna and myself initiated White Shark Research in Southern Africa. In the last 12 months, White Shark Research has been operating very vigorously along the South African coastline, specifically the False Bay area, which adjoins Cape Town. And the area that we've been concentrating on very extensively in the last 6 to 12 months has been the Dyer Island area, where we have been doing a national color-coded tagging program and population dynamics very successfully.
Almost single-handed, Ferreira has raised the funds to outfit the White Shark Research Unit with a truck, 20-foot catamaran, outboard motors, and shark cages. Responsibility for the Marine unit was assigned to Ferreira's son, Craig, who is now in charge of all the shark tagging efforts. Capable of speeds up to 40 knots, the catamaran is able to make the run from the dock to Dyer Island in less than an hour. Arriving at the Gay Jane, anchored in mid-channel, they offload the cameras, cases of film stock, and diving gear.
Grab air at the bottom. Barry, got it? Yeah, set it. Put it down inside on the bed.
As the divers prepare to enter the water, white sharks are already attacking the bait. Underwater cameraman Gordon Hiles has filmed a large variety of sharks along the coast. He is in great demand by producers of TV commercials and documentaries, and has come on this trip at the request of South African television. Heavily weighted, both men are assisted into the cages. With enough film loaded to shoot continuously for 11 minutes, the cameramen will roll short takes as the sharks swim past. Even on days when there are many sharks to film, they may have to stay in the cold water for over an hour. Having had one shark enter his cage, Wes cautiously surveys a beautiful 10-footer as it slowly makes its way past both cages. Mike Hughes, the dive master, pulls hard on the bait clamped in the jaws of a large shark, trying to direct it toward the cameramen below. Unwilling to release its hold, the great fish slams its powerful tail against the camera cage, nearly knocking Gordon off his feet. Undeterred, the shark circles the cages, displaying a fresh gash on its tail. Now the sharks are coming from every direction. Great white sharks normally feed by stalking their surface prey from beneath. They're well camouflaged from above by their dark-colored backs. This feeding strategy allows the shark to see its prey silhouetted against the sun. Before the day is over, the men film 8 sharks and are exhausted from the strenuous activity. Located in the middle of the channel, the support boats are surrounded by thousands of seals. With so many young pups to feed on, the sharks continue to slowly pass back and forth. The film is very helpful to Dr. Campagno's white shark research. It allows him to identify the sharks previously tagged to determine their sex, physical condition, unique markings, and behavior. Filming completed, Theo now prepares for the tagging operations. First, the heavy cage has to be manhandled onto the gay Jane while more fish oil chum is prepared.
The tagging procedure we use is almost primitive in its simplicity, and I think this is why we have achieved this great success. We use natural marine products, such as a highly concentrated fish oil mixed with a crushed pilchard mixture, which we ladle into the water, which stimulates an oil slick along the surface, which the sharks home in on. The baits are tied onto a natural fiber rope. The shark grabs the bait into its jaw. And once the jaws are locked, it will not release it very easily. So this affords us the opportunity to actually play tug of war with the shark. The sharks, in their inquisitiveness, looking for the food source, will swim right next to the bait, almost posing to be tagged. And we lean over and just pop the tag into them.
Hour after hour, the crew tosses the bait and then pulls the sharks toward the boat where Craig Pereira is waiting to insert the small metal clip and plastic tag. Craig's assistant records the number of each tag, the date, location of tagging operation, sex, distinctive markings, and other pertinent information. By placing the tag in the thick cartilage on the shark's back, the sharp metal clip does not injure the fish.
What we do, we just slip it into the slot over here. And then just hold it back with elastic. And as soon as we get the shark near the boat, we'll just jab the tag right into here, twist it, and the tag comes out, and this is left in the shark. It's quick and simple. And hopefully, we'll turn up somewhere else in the world.
We can prove without any doubt that there is not the slightest stress to the creature. What proved this? A shark will come up and grab a bait. We'll tag him while he's hanging on to the bait. He'll bite that bait off, and within 35 to 40 seconds, he'll make a U-turn and come and grab bait number 2. With white shark researchers' method, we actually find tag sharks become a nuisance. because they won't leave and give the untagged sharks an opportunity to come along and get themselves tagged and observed.
Oh, please come close to me. Jesus, he's massive. That's a female, right?
Now put your... Okay, put the tag number, AEH.
Yeah.
Yeah. About 2.8 meters long.
We've been able to tag upwards of 70 of them, and we may have seen as many as 100 different individuals. With this sort of tagging, visual tagging, you don't have to kill the animal to recover the tag, and so other people can gather the same information. The tags are designed to be easily read, and so if one of these white sharks turned up alongside a diver or a fishing boat or whatever and the like, the tags have a simple code, but it's simple enough and large enough and conspicuous enough to be easily read. The sort of questions we posed initially in the project, we think are being answered, particularly in trying to determine what the status of the white shark is, what its population status is, and whether or not it requires protection. We think it does. We strongly think it does.
Threatening to live up to its name as the Cape of Storms, the weather begins to turn sour, and Ken and Theo decide they had best head to port as fast as the Gay Jane can go.
Okay, Jane, can you just tell us what you plan on doing now? The water's a bit rough. I think we're going to run back to Klein Bay, over.
I think I can confirm that the water is busy picking up. The wind is busy freshening, that's for sure.
It's been a hectic but successful 3 days on Dyer Island filming and tagging. Theo hopes to return as soon as the weather clears. Even though white sharks are protected by South African law, there are those who disagree with Compagno's tagging methods. Two hours east of Dyer Island lies Strathspey, a small fishing village and harbor near Cape Agulhas, the southernmost point on the African continent. From this tiny port, Trail Whitten, a commercial fisherman, has been providing the ultimate thrill for sportsmen, the chance to catch a great white shark using hook, rod, and reel. Whitten catches small bronze whaler sharks, removes the hooks from their mouths, and inserts a great white hook into their dorsal fin, then throws them back in as bait for white sharks. Today, a South African businessman will fish from Trail Whitten's boat in hopes of hooking a white shark. He will not have to wait long to test his skill. The great white shark is the descendant of an enormous prehistoric fish that roamed the world's oceans over 100 million years ago, one of Earth's oldest species. Trail Whitten has been a fisherman for most of his life. Now operating a sport fishing boat for hire, he takes paying customers out to catch the white shark, tag it, cut the line, and release it. A controversial technique because of the potential damage the steel hook can cause to the shark's vital organs. As his quarry approaches, the sport fisherman moves to the chair mounted on the stern. Trail attaches a harness around his waist and hooks it firmly to the reel. Now it is only a matter of time before the great fish swallows the bait and hook.
He's there, man. Okay, put it on strike.
Seeing the shark take the bait, Whitten pushes the throttles full forward, and the angler sets the hook into the shark. Although the white shark is protected by South African law, commercial fishermen like Whitten defend their position of catching the sharks for pay because they also tag and release them. Conservationists and scientists feel that the hook and release method kills some of the sharks, but they have no firm data upon which to prove their point. And meanwhile, Whitten keeps on fishing.
By catching a shark with a hook and line, there is a slight possibility that you may injure the shark. If he swallows the hook into his innards, he could damage his liver, which is very vital. But I don't think that a shark would die that has been hooked and played on rod and line. I've never ever had a shark die on me while fighting on the rod and line or while tagging alongside the boat. All our sharks have revived or have always swam off just as they swam in towards the boat. And what we do is, while the shark is alongside the boat, while we're busy with tagging, we keep the boat in motion. The boat is doing approximately 4 knots. So to get the water flowing over the gills, I don't know what could hurt the animal as such. The tag is on a card, which the information such as the length of the shark, the sex of the shark, is written immediately into the tag after the tag has been put into the shark. I do tag for money because I've got to survive, and it's the only way I can get income while I'm busy with the great white shark. With the new law governing the great white shark, I am glad that the great white shark is being protected, but as I have been working with the great white for 2 years before the law came in effect and tagging great white sharks for research, I feel that by leaving me out of the tagging program has been very unfair. All I can see is that the way that they went about to create the law, it was just done politically. The law banning the killing of great white sharks, I fully agree with. I would say that the recreational fisherman who spends millions and millions of rands in this country has got a right to be able to catch, tag and release great white sharks. I've tagged up until now 51 great white sharks, and I hear that Dr. Campagno has got a great white research unit going, and apparently he also has tagged a number of great white sharks.
Weather clear, the Gay Jane is once again at anchor in the Dyer Island Channel. While the crew throws out meat hooked to small floats, others prepare the fish oil chum to be ladled into the sea.
The white shark population around the world is believed to be endangered to such extent that the species could become extinct eventually. What we are doing over the next 4 to 5 years is going out, doing a concerted tagging program where we will eventually hit a point where more tagged sharks in relation to untagged sharks make their appearance. And at that point we can do a percentage factor and come back with a fairly accurate population dynamics report.
Oh, that's the big one behind him. Hang on.
There's another one behind him.
Yeah, that's why it's pulled out.
There's a big one behind him.
I don't know, there must be something behind him. That's why it's pulled.
Kom mee, there it comes.
Hier, hè?
Kom mee,
White shark come in, small white shark. Pull. Pull. It's just untagged. Pull. Okay, yeah. That's right.
There's a tagged one again.
I went through a stage in life where white shark hunting was the in thing. I grew up in the Jaws era, so I jumped in on the white shark bandwagon. I became quite notorious. I had a lot of attention, and I basically thought I was doing one hell of a job out there, killing these man-eating monsters. At that time, to me it was the ultimate challenge, pitting my skills against the shark skills. But when I think back on it, it was a very lopsided battle. The white shark never really had a chance at any time.
It is more than money that man will pay to catch and kill these powerful yet threatened giants. As their numbers decrease from overfishing worldwide, survival of the white shark is highly uncertain. The Department of Nature Conservation maintains a small research station at Dyer Island, where a park ranger lives year-round. Even in summer, great storms from the Antarctic send massive waves crashing against the shore. With no natural harbor, the island is a perfect sanctuary for a variety of seabirds, gulls, penguins, and cormorant who nest and breed here. The black-footed penguins found here are called jackass penguins because of their comical braying call. These were the first penguins ever seen by Europeans, as reported by Portuguese explorer Bartholomew Dias in 1488. To land on the island, the Department of Nature Conservation has constructed a small concrete ramp across the rocky shore. Too shallow for larger boats like the Gay Jane, the Shark Research Unit crew must offload supplies from the rubber inflatable and the catamaran. While piloting the catamaran, Craig Ferreira must be extremely careful not to be caught broadside to a wave and dashed against the rocks. The fiberglass hull of the catamaran could be easily damaged even in these relatively calm seas. The crew offloads the bedding, food, and other supplies for their 3-night stay. Like most research stations, the facilities at Dyer Island are cramped, but adequate for a few days. Even in summer, the nights will be breezy, and the constant roar of the pounding surf provides a continuous background. Finally, on dry land, the crew has a chance to relax. Each day begins the same, loading the cameras and dive gear for hauling to the Gay Jane. The entire crew will meet the Gay Jane as she enters the channel. Today, while Theo and Craig tag sharks from the larger boat, Wes and Walt plan to swim along the shore, hoping to film some of the white shark activity along the seal colony. It's a perfect day. Almost no wind or waves, and a large number of pups are taking their first foray into the ocean. Although the water is still turbid and not as clear as hoped, the seals are out in great numbers. Working with his 35mm still camera, Walt is surrounded by large numbers of seals which seem to magically appear out of the gloom and just as quickly disappear again. Wes, too, is kept busy filming the cavorting seals. Extremely maneuverable and able to hold their breath for long periods, the seals are unexcelled in their swimming ability. Moving closer to the shore to film the pups, Wes and Walt are the focus of much curious attention by the protective adult seals. Both men stay low in hopes that in their dark wetsuits they will look like mature seals and the pups will re-enter the water. Wes is able to catch a pup swimming nearby and is rewarded with the thrill of holding a completely wild animal. But this wasn't the reward that Wes was expecting, and he seriously considers if holding the young pup was worth the little love bite that will require some medical attention from the ship's doctor. Returning to the Gay Jane, Wes has another encounter, this time with a large female seal.
I was working up into a small, narrow crevasse area by myself, and I evidently startled a large mother seal, a seal cow, and we had an offensive. It literally faced off with me, and before I even knew it, I was brutally attacked by this seal. It came in on me and I swung my face away, but it obviously got me in the arm quite good. So far the score today is seals 2, humans 0. Ow. Yeah. Woo.
Despite the attacks, Wes prepares a bold new experiment.
This will be the first time that we've ever filmed what it looks like to be eaten by a great white shark. The concept of the camera is that we're going to actually wrap bait around it, and the great whites, hopefully, this is the plan anyway, will actually come in to bite the baits, and you will physically see the jaws opening up and biting down on the camera. Now, with a little luck, this Amphibico camera here will survive inside the stainless steel shroud, and we'll get the images of what it's like to be eaten by a great white shark.
Suspended by a float on the surface, the tiny camera, dubbed the Bitacam, is mounted in a small watertight housing. Images captured by the camera are relayed through a coax cable to an 8mm video camera being used as a recorder on the deck of the Gay Jane. Through the eyepiece, Wes can view what is actually happening underwater and reports what he sees to the others.
Oh, good jaw shot!
It's coming in on that,
There he is, straight on, good shot, good shot. Good jaw, he ate it, yes! Good bite. Good bite.
Good bite. Oh, bring it up.
Well, We got it. He bit it. It was one of the risks. We hope we can get it back. But I kind of figured when I designed this thing that I may lose it. That's why we were recording it here.
The men launch a desperate hunt to find the Betacam, which was severed from the cable by the shark.
Oh, you know, in the frame, you could see the jaw open up, and he came down on it, and that was it. He took off, obviously, and this came disconnected, and the picture went away.
Now Walt, Wes, and Mike decide to make a last dive, where they will leave the cage while the white sharks swim nearby.
Right. Just look for any posturing.
Any posture, also any abnormal body movement.
So what do you want our plan to be initially as far as how you think we should do this?
Well, I think you're going to be out there with the movie camera.
Right.
And Walt's going to be where?
Walt's going to be in the cage at first, okay. You and me first, and then...
Okay, you watch the front, and I'll monitor the back.
Okay.
All right.
You think we should stay kind of close to the cage at first, or...?
I think at first, just to check out the environment.
All right.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Now, I'm just going to use it to prod with because I reckon if you shoot it, you might just aggravate it a bit, you know. You don't want that to happen.
The white shark's very unpredictable. Visibility is not good at all. So they'll only come in view of the shark when it's very, very close to them. So they'll have very short reaction time if they've got to try and avoid or try and push it off.
While Gordon Hiles films from inside the cage, Mike, Walt, and Wes wait anxiously outside the protection of the cage for the great white shark to appear. They settle slowly to the bottom of the channel to be less conspicuous. With infinite ease of motion, perfected over hundreds of millions of years, a great white emerges from the murky gloom. From his perch in the cage, Gordon can look down on the three divers as they move slowly along the bottom. With almost no current passing through the channel, they are able to hold their position just below the safety of the cage. Still, it is a tense moment. But the shark's only interest is the piece of meat suspended near the surface. A second shark emerges from the side and again passes near the cage, paying little attention to the men below. Out of film, Walt Stearns returns to the cage, while Wes and Mike take one last look and return to the surface.
We saw him. For sure, I was sitting there, and I had drifted away from the guys a little bit. And I looked up, and he was really hitting the bait hard. And I got a couple beautiful shots looking right up, straight up at him.
You didn't panic, you know, you just, well, there's a great white shark, you know, and that's it. But it was exciting. Yeah.
Fighting impossible conditions to carry out the work they believe so vital, the Shark Research Project continues their studies in hopes of revealing the secrets of the sea's greatest and least understood predator.